So often we get asked by advisors for low-cost growth opportunities. What if you could grow your business without spending a dollar on external marketing? There's a secret. Gratitude can be your greatest growth strategy. In this episode, we're going to be diving into how you can leverage Thanksgiving, a perfect low noise moment, to strengthen relationships with your top clients, make a lasting impression, and spark genuine advocacy. It's simple, it's meaningful, and it works. So let's talk about how you can turn thank you into the most powerful business tool in your arsenal.
This is The Rare Advisor, a show for financial advisors who want to build and grow their practice through the use of a business model supercharged by recurring and repeatable events. The Rare Advisor is brought to you by the Advisor Protocol Consulting Team at USA Financial.
Welcome back to another episode of The Rare Advisor, where we help top financial professionals build referable practices, deepen client relationships, and elevate their brand. I'm your host, Aaron Grady, and today we're exploring why Thanksgiving is such a timely and impactful opportunity to connect with your best clients, and how you can leverage this time of year to meaningfully strengthen relationships, but ultimately to drive client advocacy. Whether it's a handwritten card, an annual anchor, or both, Thanksgiving presents an optimal window to create lasting impressions and reinforce the connections you've worked so hard to build. It's one of those rare moments in the year where the timing, the tone, and the emotional resonance all align. So why Thanksgiving? What makes this particular time of year such a powerful, important opportunity to connect with your clients? You see, most advisors default to December for their outreach. They send cards, they send gifts, or other gestures of appreciation. While this intent is good, December is often crowded. It's a very crowded time. Everyone is doing it. The inboxes, the mailboxes are full. The messages tend to blur together. But Thanksgiving, now that's a different story. This Thanksgiving offers a unique opportunity because it's a low noise window. It's a quieter moment on the calendar that still carries emotional weight. The weeks leading up to it are typically filled with gratitude, reflection, and a more relaxed pace. People are pausing, looking around. They're taking stock of what truly matters. They're spending time with their families. They're sharing stories and reconnecting with traditions and often meaning. In contrast to December, where the holidays are often more commercial, hectic, and saturated, Thanksgiving is emotionally rich and most oftentimes uncluttered. That's why simple Thanksgiving cards or even an annual anchor delivered thoughtfully can have such an impact. You're not delivering a touch point. You're making a meaningful impression, because this isn't about staying visible or top of mind only. It's about reinforcing your value, your brand, your stewardship mindset in a way that's felt, not just seen. So take this time to reach out, especially to your AAA and your AA clients. This is not about talking business, not to remind them of performance or planning, but simply to say, I am grateful for the relationship. And that's it. And really, that's everything. But let's be clear about something. This is not about checking a box or sending something for the sake of doing it. Now, oftentimes that happens. You put new things into your service model and you say, hey, we're going to make sure we do this every single year. Consistency is important, but you still need to do it with purpose. This is about using the emotional gravity of the season to strengthen relationships and allowing you to, one, move from a transactional relationship to an experiential, creating an experience that they can live in, shift from client service to client stewardship, and then also focus on who your clients are, not just what they have. Thanksgiving gives you a natural, authentic, keyword, authentic opening to express appreciation in a way that feels genuine and strengthens the trust and loyalty you've been curating with your clients. Now, there are typically, in my opinion, 3 easy ways you can start to leverage Thanksgiving for the sake of gratitude and to deepen relationships with your clients. There's a bunch of other ways you could probably do this, but I would suggest start here and then build off of it. One is a simple handwritten Thanksgiving card. A handwritten Thanksgiving card is incredibly powerful. And I don't mean a pre-printed bulk mailer with your name stamped on it I mean a sincere short note that says something like, as Thanksgiving approaches, I just want to say thank you for the trust you've placed in me. It's a privilege to work with you, and I truly value our relationship. Wishing you and your family a wonderful holiday. It's sincere, it's personal, it's timeless. No pitch, no update, just a heartfelt message of gratitude. Keep it simple, keep it human. And understand that you're doing this for a small subset of clients, your AAAs and AAs. You're not doing this for 250 households. You can make it personal. You can make it sincere when you're doing it for a smaller set. Now, a bonus idea would be create a card or curate a card that gives you more shelf space and more shelf life. Two concepts. Shelf space, Thanksgiving in itself typically gives you more shelf space. If you wait until around the holidays, around Christmas time, the mantle is covered with Christmas cards. And so you're fighting for shelf space. Typically around Thanksgiving and other holidays, not as many cards are sent giving thanks or telling people that you're thankful for them and their relationship. So you automatically get shelf space. Shelf life comes through the idea of upping your game with the type of card. It could be a beautiful linen card. It could have a beautiful work of art, a beautiful seasonal image on it, a card where people would have a hard time throwing it in the trash. So there are ways to extend the shelf life of this card. The second opportunity would be through what we call an annual anchor. If you're looking for a way to elevate the gesture, consider creating a tradition with a tangible gift that anchors your relationship. That's why we call these things annual anchors. These are strategic, memorable, meaningful gestures that anchor your relationship with your best clients, your AAAs and your AAs. Let me delve a little bit deeper. Let me explain what this really means. Have you ever looked at something in your home on a shelf or a mantle and instantly recall who gave it to you, when and how it made you feel? In that moment, you're taken right back to that connection. And honestly, that's exactly what we want to replicate with an annual anchor. So think about something thoughtful that isn't just consumed, but sticks around. This could be something like ceramic pie plate delivered with a pie the week before Thanksgiving, a wine opener with a bottle to be cellared, not immediately drank, something useful, beautiful, or memorable. Understand that if this is done right, and when it's done right, these become a symbol of your relationship, a lasting reminder of how much you value your client, not just for their business, but for their trust. These become part of the client's home, their traditions and their stories. And over time, they come to expect and love it. Now, holiday pies are not a new concept. However, one advisor we coach calls his top clients every November and asks apple or pumpkin. And then he and his assistant hand deliver the pies on beautiful plates, the kind that become keepsakes. There's no logo on them, no business card slapped on it, just the pie, a handwritten note, and a personal touch. Now, imagine those clients hosting Thanksgiving dinner. The family's gathered around the table, the pie is on the table, the ceramic plate is passed around, and someone asks, "Where did you get this?" And just like that, your name comes up in the best way possible. It's earned advocacy, and it's organic, and it's memorable, and it's part of a client experience that goes beyond transactions. Now, simple way to elevate these type of things would be, for the example, if I use the pie plate, there is a company called Nora Fleming. They're popular in the Hallmark stores here around where we live, where they have dishes that have a little hole in them that you can put an ornament. So if this was a Thanksgiving gift, the ornament would be a pilgrim or a turkey. If it was this pie dish was being used around Halloween, it could have a pumpkin on it. If it was used around Christmas, it could have a Christmas tree. If it was used around Easter, it could have an Easter egg. You get the idea. The idea now is that we could take something that was just a simple gift and gesture, and now we can continue to build on that gift. You could give the ornaments at different times throughout the year. You could give them in subsequent years. You can start building a opportunity to extend the life of this gift. And think about this. Now, as they're using the gift year after year throughout the course of the year, it becomes part of the family memory. And again, that reflects back on you and the unique and special relationship you have for the client. Now you can do this with other things. I've seen advisors do it with clients who like wine. And so maybe it starts out with a wine decanter, and then it moves on to wine glasses or wine caddy or so on and so forth. So there are ways to take these annual anchors and extend them. But remember, one of the key things is you want these to be something that is seen, not tucked away into a cabinet, never to be used or seen or utilized. We're not giving away paperweights. This is about creating meaningful connection. Now, the third option would be to combine both of these ideas for maximum impact. So imagine sending out a card with your annual anchor gift, or delivering a pie with a handwritten note tucked inside. Now it's just not just thoughtful, it's intentional. You're turning a seasonal gesture into a strategic client experience. This is about relationship building, not marketing. So let's be very clear and let's make a very important distinction. This is not about putting your name on everything. This is not about branding your Thanksgiving. This is about resonating, not promoting. If you're giving a gift, resist the urge to slap your logo on it. Let the gesture speak for itself. Clients know where it came from. They'll feel it more if it's about them, not about you. So how do you turn this into a repeatable, referable process? This is where we like to say this is a great opportunity to operationalize gratitude. Start by breaking it down into a simple, scalable formula built on 3 principles. 1, make it thoughtful. It should be personal, meaningful, and evoke emotion. 2, make it predictable. Do it the same time every year. It becomes part of the client's experience memory. And 3, make it personal, especially for your AAA and AA clients. Make them feel like this isn't some mass-produced effort that goes out to everybody. This is about them, a unique and special group of clients that you have developed a special relationship with. And then from there, you can create a simple process inside of your CRM, your client service calendar, where you're going to block a week every November. Early on to start working on this process, you can segment your AAAs and AAs every year to make sure you have the right people. And then you decide who gets the card, who gets the gift, who gets both. Then track it and repeat it next year. And then make tweaks, make changes. Maybe you elevate. Maybe you change course. Maybe you change the gift. Maybe you expand it even more. Maybe you do it in different times of the year. By doing this consistently, you're embedding appreciation into your business model, not just your mindset. And as we always say, consistency builds trust. So what is the long-term impact? When done intentionally, these gestures don't just make clients feel good. They make you more referable, because when a client is sitting around their Thanksgiving table and someone asks them about the pie, the wine, the card, what do you think they say? Oh, that's from my advisor. They do this every year. They're amazing, because when you do this year after year, clients begin to look forward to it. And that's the magic. When your clients say, oh, it's that time for the pie, or, hey, aren't we supposed to get a note from our advisor around now? You move from a transactional relationship to an experiential relationship, from service provider to valued professional. And that's how you build referability. And remember, the things that matter the most should never be at the mercy of the things that matter least. This is not about scaling something massive. It's about deepening the right relationships in meaningful ways. And through these simple acts, you become a story worth telling. And the best part, you didn't ask for anything. You just showed up with gratitude. So here's your takeaways. Leverage this time of year, not just for outreach, but for meaningful connection. Choose your gesture, whether it's a card, anchor, or both. Make it thoughtful, repeatable, and focus on the relationship. And most of all, make it about them. Remember, gratitude is not a tactic. It's a philosophy. But when you operationalize it, it becomes a growth strategy. So when you align your actions with the emotions of the Thanksgiving season, you deepen trust, you enhance loyalty, and you ultimately grow your business by design, not by chance. If you'd like help on crafting your own Thanksgiving relationship strategy, designing your annual anchor, or building your client segmentation, we've got the tools and the coaching to help. So thank you for joining me again on another episode of The Rare Advisor. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, remember, when the why is clear, the how becomes easy. So never lose sight of your why.
This information is for licensed financial professionals only and is not intended for use in soliciting sales from the public. The views expressed represent the opinions of the presenter or their featured guest, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Industry references are generic and not intended to represent actions or beliefs of any individual or entity. Content is only presented to illustrate general principles, beliefs, or ideas and should not be construed as legal or regulatory advice. Trademark and copyright protected. USA Financial and Affiliates.